Good morning, students. In today's session, I am going to work out some problems. In the previous session, that is the first session of compound angles, the chapter 14, I taught you about the expansion or the formula for sin A plus B, cos A plus B, tan A plus B. That is for the compound angle A plus B. Similarly, for the compound angle A minus B also, I had given you the formula. And using these formula, we had calculated the values, some standard values, 15 degrees as well as 75 degrees. And after that, now one more formula, that is cot of A plus B and cot of A minus B, we had calculated. So this sin A plus B, directly you can use the formula. This cot of A plus B or cot of A minus B, though it is a formula, can be expected for a 2-mark question. They may ask you to prove that one, the left hand side equal to right hand side. In today's session, I am going to work out some problems in which I will make use of the standard values which I learnt in the previous session. That is, you have learnt about what is sin 15, cos 15, tan 15, and also sin 75, cos 75 and tan 75. Using them, we are going to work out the problem. So here, prove that is all the problems. So we are going to prove that, means that we start from the left hand side, arrive at the right hand side. Now let me take down the first problem, that is prove that tan of 15 degrees plus cot of 15 degrees is equal to 4. That is, the right hand side is a whole number, left hand side, both of them are standard values. Tan 15 you have considered in the previous class, it was 2 minus root 3. Now cot 15 is nothing but the reciprocal of tan 15. Therefore, you can take it as 1 by 2 minus root 3. On rationalizing, we get the value 2 plus root of 3. So let me start with the left hand side. It is tan 15 is 2 minus root 3, and the cot 15 would be equal to 2 plus root 3. These are all standard values. You are supposed to remember all of them. Just like for the angles 0, 30, 45, 60, 90 you had learned. Similarly, for 15 degrees and 75 degrees also, you have to remember by heart all these values. Now, clearly observe that the irrational numbers now, they get cancelled. So 2 plus 2, that would be equal to 4, which is nothing but the right hand side. See, it can be given even for a 1-mark question also, because it is very simple here. Directly you are writing the values, standard values. We are not doing any calculation. Directly the values are substituted and we are cancelling that one. So this becomes 4. Now let me move on to the next problem. Now here again we are going to prove that sin of 105 degrees plus cos of 105 degrees, this should be equal to 1 by square root of 2. 1 by square root of 2. Usually it is a 2-mark question. 2-mark question means you have to complete you have to solve the problem within 2 or 3 steps. Don't take more steps. It will take more time. Difficult for you to manage the time. Now in this one, see, we know the values of 15 degrees, 75 degrees, standard values. Now using the allied angle, which I learnt in first year PUC, any angle can be split using the quadrantal angle. So let me start with the left hand side. Let me use the rule of the allied angle, easy for us to solve the problem or to get the right hand side. Now sin of 105. How could you write that one? Either you can write it as 180 minus 75 or 90 plus 15. Both are correct. But we will be using different rules, that's all. Similarly, this is 90 plus 15. Cos of 90 plus 15. Now use the first rule. Remember the first rule. If the angle is expressed as 90 plus something or 90 minus something, function would be changed over to co-function. So sin will become cos and cos will become sin, because they are co-functions. But remember, 105, it lies in the second quadrant, where only sin is positive, where cos is negative. You have to remember the sign as well as the rule. So I can write this as cos of 15 degrees, and this is cos 90 plus something becomes minus sin of 15 degrees. Now we got the standard value. Let me write the standard value. What is for cos 15? Yesterday you had derived that is root 3 plus 1 divided by 2 root 2 minus of root 3 minus 1 divided by 2 root 2. I am just writing the standard values which we derived in the previous session. Look at the denominator. Both the denominators are equal. So that becomes the LCM. That means the LCM being 2 into root of 2. And so when the LCM is same, we can directly write the numerator. It is root 3 plus 1 minus of root 3 minus 1. Because why I am using the bracket is, here if we had positive sign, no, directly we could have written. Because of the minus sign, you have to write bracket so that both the terms would be multiplied by the minus sign. So remove the bracket. That is root 3 plus 1 minus root 3 minus of minus plus 1 divided by 2 into root of 2. Which can be cancelled now? Root 3 can be cancelled. 1 plus 1, that would be equal to 2 divided by 2 into root of 2. Cancel 2 also. What is remaining now? It is 1 by root of 2, which is the right hand side we wanted. So usually it is a 2-mark question. So first you write, split the angle and write, then using the allied angle rule we have written. So for writing this one you get 1 mark here. For writing the exact value and doing the further simplification, the arithmetical calculation, you will be getting the other mark for this one. If it is usually it is asked for a 2-mark question, this is how the marks are divided. Now similarly we move on to another problem. Here you have to prove that secant 15 degrees plus cosecant 15 degrees should be equal to 2 into root of 6. 2 into root of 6. Now again, as usual, we start from the left hand side. That is, in the previous session, I had calculated the values of sin 15, cos 15 and tan 15. Now you know that this secant is the reciprocal of cos and cosecant is the reciprocal of sin ratio. Therefore, you can write it like this. Start with the left hand side. You remember the values here. See, sin 15 is root 3 minus 1 divided by 2 root 2. Cos 15 is root 3 plus 1 divided by 2 root 2. Just now I had used in the previous problem. Now this secant is the reciprocal of cos. So how do you take? You have to take the reciprocal of the number also. That means 2 into root of 2 divided by root 3 plus 1 plus in between. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sin theta. Therefore, take the reciprocal 2 root 2 divided by root 3 minus 1. If you want, you can quote it in the working column and then take the respective values here. Now, directly don't take the LCM. Now, whenever there is a common factor for both the terms, better you take that outside. That makes our calculation easier. So, take the common factor 2 into root of 2. Start the bracket, write the remaining terms. 1 by root 3 plus 1 plus 1 by root 3 minus 1. Now, you see that it is easier for you to do the calculation. What is the LCM? We are having two different denominators. The product of the denominators becomes a LCM. That is root 3 plus 1 into root 3 minus 1. What is the procedure? Divide the LCM by the number denominator and remaining part should be multiplied by the corresponding numerator. So 1 into root 3 minus 1 plus 1 into root 3 plus 1. Here I am not using any bracket because in between I am having the positive sign which is getting cancelled now. It is plus 1 and minus 1, they are getting cancelled. Now let me do the remaining calculation. So this would be equal to, outside I am having 2 into root of 2. Root 3 plus root 3. How much is that one? 2 root 3 divided by, look at the denominator. We are having root 3 plus 1 into root 3 minus 1. Which formula does it resemble? A plus B into A minus B. That means A square is algebraic formula. A square minus b square. Now 2 into 2 that is 4, root 2 into root 3 that is root 6. Now root 3 whole square is 3 minus 1. That would be equal to 4 into root 6 divided by 3 minus 1, 2. You can cancel 2 ones are 2 twos are. So this would is equal to 2 into root of 6, which is nothing but the right hand side. So even these are all 2 mark questions only, because in most of the cases directly the standard values have been used here. So you can expect it for a 2 mark question. So in all this one we use the standard values. Suppose sin, cos and tan are given directly, you can write. Secant, cosecant or cot are given. Be careful, write the respective reciprocal values, then you can get the value the right hand side. When you start from the left hand side, you can get the right hand side. In the next problems, different type of problems I am going to work out here. Here what I do is, I will be giving you the values of 2 trigonometric ratios, maybe sine and cosine, whatever may be that one. I will be giving you 2 values, that is 2 different angles and 2 different ratios I am going to give. Then you are supposed to find the values of either sine of a plus b, cos of a plus b, tan of a plus b or sin a minus, whatever has been asked in the problem. So when 2 ratios are given, that is for example I am giving you sine of a equal to something, cos of b equal to something, and what are a and b, it would be specified. A and B are acute angles. Suppose A and B are given to be acute angles, then what you have to do, you can remember that all the whenever the angle is acute, all the trigonometric ratios would be positive. That means the angle lies in the first quadrant. Suppose A is lying in the second quadrant, B is lying in the third quadrant. So depending upon the ratios we are considering, you have to be careful about to write the appropriate sign. May be positive or negative. Only in the first quadrant all the ratios would be positive. If the angle is lying in any other quadrant, no, you have to look at the ratio, you have to look at the angle, then you have to decide about the sign, because you know that in the second quadrant sine and cosecant positive, third quadrant tan and cot are positive, fourth quadrant cos and secant are positive. So depending upon the angle, depending upon the ratio, you have to write the appropriate sign. So let me take up the next problem. Here some data is given, that is if sine of A is equal to 3 by 5 and cos of B is equal to 4 by 5 and A and B are acute angles, they are acute angles, find the value of, then find the values of sine of A plus B, sine of A plus B and cos of A minus B, cos of A minus B. These problems are little bit lengthy, I mean you have to draw the figure and then it's easier for you to do the calculation. Look here, 2 different angles are given, 2 different ratios are given. See, we have worked out such problems in first year PUC trigonometry. Only one ratio is given, we will be calculating the other ratio. Suppose sin theta is given, you find the value of cos theta. Then also what we do, when one ratio is given, you draw the triangle, calculate the other side, that is remaining of the right angle triangle, then any trigonometric ratio we could calculate. Now here the problem is different, because there are 2 angles here, 2 different ratios are there, therefore you have to draw 2 right angle triangles. After writing the right angle triangles, see sin A plus B, what are the terms you need? Sin A cos B and cos A sin B, and what's the expansion? Cos A minus B is cos A into cos B plus sin A into sin B. So we need the values of sin A, sin B, cos A, cos B, that can be calculated using the appropriate diagram. Now let me consider the first one, that is sin A given sin A. What is sin A equal to? It is 3 by 5. So what I do is, I write a right angle triangle here. Write a right angle triangle. Make it a habit to write the angle. You have to first mark the angle. So this is angle A. Any this or this, preferably the base angle we consider. It would be convenient for us. How do you define sin theta? Opposite over the hypotenuse. So 3 means opposite side. You need not mark ABC triangle, all those things, not necessary. So opposite is 3, hypotenuse is 5. So what is remaining? The adjacent side is remaining. Now this being a right angle triangle, we can use the Pythagoras theorem. So how do you get this one? Square root of 5 square minus 3 square. 5 square minus 3 square, that is 25, minus 9, that is 16, whose value is 4. So this is how we have to calculate. After using the Pythagoras theorem, you calculate the other side, it becomes 4. Now sin A has been given. So let me consider cos A also, which I will be needing. So beforehand only you just calculate. Cos A means adjacent over the hypotenuse. So this is over. The information I have used that one and written the diagram and got the value of the other. Come to the second one. Cos B is given to be 4 by 5. Cos B is given to be 4 by 5. Now again you draw another triangle, right angle triangle. Mark this as angle B. Now how do you define cosine? Adjacent over the hypotenuse. So this is 4 and this is 5. In this particular problem, same numbers are repeated, otherwise you have to calculate. Again use the Pythagoras theorem to get the opposite side. Square root of 5 square 25 minus 4 square 16, that is 9, that would be equal to 3. So cos B is given, therefore you calculate sin B, that is opposite over the hypotenuse. So we get the value. Cos A is known, sin B is known, and sin A is given and cos B is given. So two values are given, two values we have calculated. Now let us go to the expansion. One by one we will be calculating. First one, you consider sin of A plus B. Sin of A plus B. In the previous session I had given you the expansion. What is that one? Sin A cos B plus cos A into sin B. Now that is why I have calculated all the things that are necessary for this one. First term sin A, look at that one, it is 3 by 5 into cos B. Cos B has been given to us, it is 4 by 5 plus cos A we have calculated, that is 4 by 5 into sin B, again we have calculated, that is 3 by 5. Now 4 3s are 12 divided by 25, another 12 divided by 25. It is nothing but arithmetical calculation. That is 25 being the common denominator becomes the LCM. Numerator you write them as they are. So 12 plus 12, that is sin of A plus B is equal to 24 divided by 25. So this is the value of the first function, first term that has been asked. Sin A plus B, write the expansion. That is why beforehand you have all the data, whatever data has been given, whatever calculation you have done, all of them together you have, you ready with all of them, all the quantities that are needed for this one. Then direct substitution gives you the answer. So this is sin of A plus B, sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. Write the respective values, do the arithmetical calculation, and we get sin of A plus B to be equal to 24 by 25. Now what is the next thing I had asked you to calculate? It is cos of A minus B. Let me take the next term, cos of A minus B. What is the expansion? It is cos A into cos B plus sin A into sin B. You have to be careful about this one. In the case of sin A plus B, left hand side plus, right hand side plus, same sign is continued. Whereas in the case here minus, it is plus. When it is plus, this becomes minus. Again, all the values on the right hand side already known to us. So it is cos A. Go to the figure. Cos A means it is 4 by 5. Then cos B, which has been given to us, it is 4 by 5 again. Now sin A, it is given to us 3 by 5. Sin B, you have calculated already, that is also 3 by 5. So multiply them. 16 by 25 plus 9 by 25. Here also the LCM being the common denominator, it is 25. Write the numerator as it is. 16 plus 9, that is 25 divided by 25, and on cancellation in this case the value becomes unity or 1. So this is the procedure we adopt. Usually it can be given for a higher mark question also, but sometimes it's given for a 2 mark question. But for a 2 mark question, if it is given, you cannot cut short these steps. You have to write all the steps here, then you can get the value. If it is asked for a 2 mark question, both of them will not be asked. Either sin A plus B or cos A, any one of them would be asked. Now we move on to the next problem. Here also it is of the same type, type of data I am giving you, and same type of calculation we will be doing. The compound angles may be different. Now let me take the next problem. If A and B are acute angles given, A and B are acute angles. A and B are acute angles, and the data cos A is 5 by 13 and cos B is 24 divided by 25. Both cosine ratios have been given. Angles are different, but the ratio is same. Cos A is 5 by 13, cos B is 24 by 25. You are supposed to find the values of cos A plus B, and sin of A minus B. In the previous problem, it was a reverse we had, sin A plus B and cos A minus B. Here we are calculating cos A plus B and sin A minus B. But whatever may be the data, the procedure is same in all these problems. There are 2 angles, so you have to draw the 2 diagrams here depending upon the values that have been given. So let me take the first one. Cos A is 5 by 13. 5 by 30. Now draw a triangle here, right angle triangle. Mark the angle sides. Cos means adjacent, and this is the hypotenuse. That is, adjacent is 5, the hypotenuse is 13. So you have to get the opposite side here. Again, using the Pythagoras theorem, how do you get this one? This would be equal to root 13 square minus 5 square. You can do this calculation in the working column. 13 square, what is 13 square? 169, and 5 square is 25. This would be 169 minus 24 is 144. It's a perfect square, would be equal to 12. That means that in this case the opposite side becomes 12 units. So cos A is 5 by 13. I have written adjacent 5, hypotenuse 13, opposite side becomes 12. Therefore, let me calculate sin A. Cos A has been given. Sin A means opposite over the hypotenuse. So 12 by 30. One is over. Now let us come to the next data. What is the other one that is given? Cos B is 24 by 25. That means that, let me draw the diagram here also. It is, mark this as angle B. Again, cos B means this is adjacent side, this is hypotenuse. Here the numbers are big, you have to be careful. To get the opposite side here, the same Pythagoras theorem, root of 25 square minus 24 square. 25 square means it is square root of 625, and this is 576. Okay. Now subtract. What do you get? 15 minus 6, 9. 11 minus 7, 4. You observe it is again a perfect square, that would be equal to 7. So in this case the opposite side becomes 7 units. So cos B is given, therefore you find out sin B, that is opposite over the hypotenuse. So these are the 4 values which we need. 2 have been given, 2 we have calculated using the diagram and the basic definition of the ratios. Now let me consider the first one. What is the first thing that you have to calculate? Cos of A plus B. You observe in both the problems A and B were given to be acute angles. So I am not bothering about the sign because all of them would be positive here. Therefore, we need not worry about the sign. If the angles are lying in different quadrant, you have to be extremely careful. Now cos A plus B. Let me write the expansion. Cos A, cos B. I have told you left hand side positive, right hand side negative. Sin A into sin B. Write the respective values. What is cos A? It is given 5 by 13. What is cos B? That is also given 24 by 25. Now, sin A we have calculated, it is 12 by 13. What is sin B? It is again 7 by 25. Now, let me do the multiplication. 24 5s are 120, and when you multiply 25 into 3, 75, 7 carried, 25 into 1, 25 plus 7, that is 32. So it is 120. Of course, you can do the cancellation here. Don't do that one to retain the same denominator. So 120 by 325. Now 12 sevens are 84 divided by 325. Now again in this case also you will clearly see that the common denominator becomes the LCM. Write the numerators as they are. 120 minus 84. Subtract 10 minus 4, 6. 11 minus 8, 3 divided by 325. So this is the value of cos of A plus B. So we have calculated cos of A plus B. This is nothing but 36 divided by 325. Now what is the next expansion we want here? Sin of A plus B. So let me write the formula first and then we do the calculation. The second one is sin of A minus B. What is the expansion? Sin of A into cos of B minus. Here also minus, here also minus. Cos A into sin B. Now again all the four values are already have been calculated. 2 are given, 2 have been calculated. First let me write sin A. Sin A is 12 by 13. Cos B, that is cos B has been given as 24 by 25. Next minus cos A, that is given to be 5 by 13, and the sin B we have calculated, it is 7 by 25. Now it is only the arithmetical calculation, but to get the denominator, the same denominators we are having, multiply this one. 12 into 24, 12 4s are 48, 4 carried, 12 2s are 24 plus 4, 28 divided by 325. Now here again don't do the cancellation. 7 5s are 35 and denominator 325. So it's a very simple arithmetical calculation. 325. Write the numerator as they are. Subtract 8 minus 5, that is 3. 8 minus 3, that is 5. 2 divided by 325. Now this is the value of sin of A minus B. So you have to be careful to copy the problem correctly and copy the ratio. Now in both these problems, it was easier for us to do the calculation. The reason being both A and B were acute angles. Now suppose they are lying in different quadrants, then you have to be extremely careful to remember the appropriate rule and appropriate sign that is allotted to that angle as well as that ratio. We will take up such two problems, one or two more problems in which the angles would be lying in different quadrants. Let me take the next problem. Here, that's why I am telling you repeatedly, you have to copy the problem correctly. If sin A is 3 by 5, where pi by 2 less than a less than pi, where pi by 2 less than a less than pi, and cos b equal to minus 8 by 17, where pi by 2 less than b less than pi. Then evaluate means you have to find the value, that's the meaning. Evaluate sin of a plus b and cos of a minus b. Sin of a plus b and cos of a minus b. Here this is a radian measure which you have learnt in again first year. PU pi by 2 means it is 90 degree, pi means it is 180 degree. So pi by 2 less than a less than pi. What do you mean by that one? The angle A is lying between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. Same thing, B is also lying between 90 and 180. That means which quadrant? It is the second quadrant. So both angles A and B are lying in the second quadrant. That is why sin of A is positive. It is given because you know that in the second quadrant sin is positive, but in the second quadrant cos is negative. So I have given you minus 8 by 17. Now here procedure is same. Don't worry about the sign. We'll write it afterwards when you come to the particular ratio. Now first let me take the first data. Sin A is 3 by 5. Sin A is 3 by 5. Let me draw the figure. Mark it as angle A. Now in the figure, don't write the sign here, minus or plus whatever it is. Take only the numerical value. Only when expanding or finding the value, you write the appropriate sign, because here to write the sign you may get confused. Don't make that mistake. Write only the numerical value. Here the opposite is 3, the hypotenuse is 5. Now in one of the previous problems we had done, it is root of 5 square, 25 minus 9, root 16, that would be equal to 4. Now sin A is 3 by 5, that is 3, 5 and 4. Now let me calculate cos A. Better you calculate here itself. Now look here, where does the angle lie? Angle A lies in the second quadrant. Second quadrant means what is the sign of cos? It is minus. Therefore, first you write the minus sign. So that's why I am telling you, don't write the sign in the figure here. See here, cos A is adjacent over the hypotenuse. Write the sign when you write the ratio. It is minus 4 by 5. So sin A was given because it was in the second quadrant, sin A was positive. Cos A becomes a negative number. Now next ratio, cos B is given to be minus 8 by 17. Here also write the diagram, mark the angle as B. Now here only I am telling you, the sign is given, don't in the figure don't ever write the sign. How do you write cos? Adjacent over the hypotenuse, adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now here the numbers are different. See, root of 17 square minus 8 square to get the opposite side. 17 square minus 8 square. What is 17 square? It is 289. 8 square 64. So when you subtract 9 minus 4, 5, 2, root of 225, which is a perfect square, it is 15. Better you remember these values, so this calculation you can avoid directly, you can write. So in this case it becomes 15. So 15 is the opposite side. See, I have not written minus 8 or anything here. Don't write the sign here. So 8, 17, 15. Now let me calculate. See, cos B has been given. Let me calculate sin B. While doing the calculation, then look at the angle where it lies. Now B is also lying in the second quadrant. You know that sin is positive in the second quadrant, so no, it will not become negative. So it is 15 by 17 plus 15 by 17. See, these values are there. One was given, one we calculated. Second was given, third you calculated. Okay. Now let me come to the expansions of the respective thing. First one, it is sin of A plus B. Sin of A plus B, the usual expansion, what we are doing till now. Sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. Cos A sin B. Write the value. Sin A is 3 by 5 into cos B. Cos B also given but with a minus sign, plus cos A is minus 4 by 5 sin B plus 15 by 17. Now be careful. Minus 8 into 3 minus 24. 17 5s are 85. Now plus into minus minus 15 4s are 60 divided by 85. Here also don't cancel. Retain the same denominator which becomes the LCM. Now 85 becomes the LCM. So write the numerator with the proper sign as it is. Minus 24 minus 60. So both of them are negative. Add them. Minus 84 divided by 85. So this is the value of the expansion sin of A plus B. Here A and B, both of them were lying in the second quadrant. The angle were lying between 90 and 180 degree. So sin A was given to be 3 by 5. Cos B was given to be minus 8 by 17. We calculated cos A, that is also negative. Sin B would be positive because angle is lying in the second quadrant. So this is the value of sin of A plus B. Now let me move on to calculate the other one. It is cos of A minus B. Cos of A minus B. Now what's the expansion? It is cos A cos B. Now we are having minus, so it becomes plus sin A into sin B. Now write the respective values here. Cos A is minus 4 by 5. When the negative sign is there, better write inside the bracket. Then cos B, that is also negative, minus 8 by 17, plus sin A is given to be 3 by 5. And sin B we have calculated 15 by 17. So when once the values are written, it's only the arithmetical calculation. Minus of minus plus 32 divided by 85. 15 3s are 45 divided by 85. Here also don't do the cancellation. Now the LCM is 85. Write the numerator as it is. For 32 plus 45, that becomes 77 divided by 85. So this becomes the value of cos of A minus B. So in the first two problems now, it was easier because both A and B were taken to be acute angles. So all the ratios would be positive. So here when the angles are lying in different quadrant, you have to be careful because the signs would be different depending upon the ratio and the angle. Now one more problem. Here also the angles would be lying in different quadrants. So be careful to write the appropriate sign for the appropriate ratio. Now the next problem is, the data in this case is sin A is minus 7 by 25, where the angle is lying between these two values. Look here, pi less than A less than 3 pi by 2. What do you mean by that one? Pi means 180 degree, 3 pi by 2 means 270 degree. That means angle A is lying in the third quadrant. Third quadrant sign is negative, therefore I have written minus 7 by 25. And what is the other ratio? Other ratio is cos B. Cos B is 12 by 13. Cos B is 12 by 13, where the angle B is lying between these values. Look here, 3 pi by 2 means 270 degrees. Better you be familiar with radian measure also. 270 degree, 2 pi means it is 360 degree. Angle B is lying between 270 and 360. That means it is lying in the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, cos is positive. So I have written plus 12 by 13. Here it is minus 7 by 25 because the angles are different here. Now what has to be calculated is you have to find cos of A plus B and sin of A minus B. So these are the two calculations. So here you have to be careful to write the appropriate sign. That's why I am telling you repeatedly, don't write the sign in the diagram. That may be confusing. Looking at the ratio, you always write the sign when you do the calculation. Okay, that is always a good practice. Now, let me consider the first data, and according to that one, let me write the diagram. Now, first one is sin of A equal to minus 7 by 25. First one, sin A is minus 7 by 25. So, let me draw the diagram here. Draw a right angle triangle, mark it as A. Though minus is there, simply write according to the definition. Opposite 7, hypotenuse 25. Now we had the same calculation, one of the earlier problems. To get the adjacent side, root 25 square, that is 625, minus 7 square 49, it becomes 576, that becomes 24. Now these are the usual standard values here. So the adjacent side in this case becomes 24. So sin A is minus 7 by 25. Now I have to get, it is given, I have to get cos A. Now look here, where does the angle A lie? It is lying in the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, as you know, both sine and cosine, both of them are negative. Sin A is given to be a negative number. Cos A will also be negative. So write the minus sign here. Adjacent over the hypotenuse. So it is minus 24 by 25. Now come to the next data. What's the next data? It is cos B is plus 12 by 13. This is one data. Now one more right angle triangle and then mark the angle B. Now at cos B means adjacent and this is hypotenuse. Using the Pythagoras theorem, root 13 square minus 12 square, that is 169 minus 144. So this becomes 5. Now we have to calculate sin B. We need that one in the expansion. Now come to the angle B. Where does the angle B lie? Between 270 and 360. That is, it is lying in the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, as you know, sine ratio is negative. Write the sign first. Now write opposite over the hypotenuse. Otherwise, no, you have to write in the right angle triangle in the particular quadrant. That becomes a little bit difficult. Better you follow this procedure. In the figure, don't write any sign. But look at the ratio, look at the angle, then give the appropriate sign for that one. Now, all the values are ready with us. So, what we do is, we do the calculation. That is what has to be calculated. It is cos of A plus B and then we can get cos of sin of A minus B. Cos of A plus B and we will be getting the next value sin of A minus B. Now let me do the calculation. Consider the first one, that is cos of A plus B. That was the first one. First one was cos of A plus B. Write the expansion. Cos A into cos B, here plus means here minus, sin A into sin B. Now look at the data and the calculation. Cos A, what is cos A? It is minus 24 divided by 25, right inside the bracket, into cos B, that is positive 12 by 13, minus Sin A is already one minus sign is there. That is why better write inside the bracket. And then sin B is again a negative number, minus 5 by 13. So let me do the multiplication. Minus of plus minus 24 into 12 or 12 into 24. 12 4s are 48, 4 carried, 12 2s are 24 plus 4, 28. Now this we have done, it becomes 325. 13 5s are 65 and 26 plus 6, 32. Minus into minus into minus, another minus. It is 7 5s are 35. Denominator the same number, 325. Now write the LCM, which is nothing but the common denominator. Look here, both of them are negative here. Minus 288 minus 35. Add them, since both of them are negative, the answer will also be negative. 8 plus 5, 13, 1 carried, 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 8, 12, 1 carried, that is 323 divided by 325. So this is the value of cos of A plus B. That would be minus of 323 divided by 325. Now what's the next thing we have to calculate? Here we have to find sin of A minus B. That is the next calculation we have to do. So first one was cos of A plus B. Now it is sin of A minus B. Write the expansion first. Second one, sin of A minus B. What is the expansion here? Sin A into cos B. Here also minus, here also minus. It is cos A into sin B. Again, look at all the four values and write the proper sign. Sin A, what is sin A? Minus 7 by 25. Right inside the bracket because it is negative. Cos B, it is plus 12 by 13. Minus cos A, it is negative, minus 24 by 25 into sin B, that is also negative. It is 5 by 13. So sin A into cos B and then cos A into sin B. Now here minus of plus minus, 12 sevens are 84, denominator the same number we are having, 325. Minus into minus into minus, another minus, 24 5s are 120 divided by 325. Again in this case also we are getting the common denominator to be the LCM. Since both of them are negative, both the numbers have to be added. So 4 plus 0, 4, 2, 8 plus 2, 10, 1 carried it is. And since both of them are negative, we have to give the same sign to the answer. So this is also negative, minus 204 divided by 325. Here the values of A and B, actual values will not be given. Only the ratios would be given. Suppose there are standard values, standard angles, you know the standard values here, but all the values are valid here, but they are not standard values here. So whenever some one ratio is given, A for angle A one ratio, for angle B another ratio is given, depending upon the ratio, depending upon the angle, we have to write the appropriate sign. That's why read the problem. If both A and B are acute angles, no problem, all the ratios would be positive. When any one is lying in the first quadrant, the other second quadrant, remember which quadrant, which angle, which ratio, for which angle, which ratio would be positive or negative, write the appropriate sign. But in the figure, don't ever write the minus or plus sign, it would be confusing for you. Only in the writing the ratio there, here, you give the appropriate sign for that one. So these are the problems when it is given for a 2-mark question, both of them will not be asked, either sin A plus B, any one of them would be asked, because for each one of them, these calculations are necessary. Unless you do the calculation, you cannot get the values there. Therefore, this is the procedure we adopt. So in the coming session, we will try some other different type of problems here. Thank you.